Hi, in this video, I'd like to explain how to use this GIMP and three different layers to create this effect of writing on these blackboards. Right? First, I'm going to explain this how to pull up these layers. So I go to Windows menu, and there's a dockable windows, and you can pull up layers. If you haven't changed the shortcut keys, it's supposed to be Control L. Then you can just create this three different layer. The bottom layer is where I put this blackboard images. As you can see, it feels like the dirty blackboard you see in there. It wasn't big enough, like this whole thing was a 3000 pixels. It wasn't big enough, so that I have to probably continue it like this and make it big enough. But I chose a one that's wide enough so that I don't have to stretch that much. So I put it in the bottom layer. And I'm going to explain these two layers, why I needed these two layers. If this is a live lecture, going back and forth and the top layer and bottom layer, second layer, that will be too much the work. But if it is a recorded lecture like this, it's not much of a deal, and you can pause and do it easily. And then it has a very convenient purpose in there, convenient effect. So I chose the second layer, and first I show you how to got these blackboard images, and I plan to show that, so I'm going to do that. This, I went to the Google and I typed in blackboards or black color blackboards. You can find images really easily. So that's how I got that. For the second layer, what I will be doing is that, sometimes you have some screenshot prepared or photo files. Rather than putting everything copied in here, doing as you go, I think it's a better, because you don't exactly know how much you're going to use for this part and the next part and in between and things like that. So I find this copying and pasting as you do the lecture, I think is more easier part. So it went into the second layer. One thing I didn't explain, and I remember now, is that I prepared the second lecture with this opacity level 80 that could change if this background color is different. But if it is a black like this, if it is too bright, sometimes its eyes, have too much of a backlight. So opacity kills a little bit. It's a nice in there. Then I go to the very top layer and then right on there, and I'm going to move that aside so that I, you know, increase this effect of doing this magic. So the thing is that if you write on this third layer and if you erase it, it's not going to affect anything that is in the you know lower layer. So here's a different color I chose. So if I underlined it, for some reason while you're talking, you got too messy and then decided to delete that. And I have erasers here. And if you erase it, it does not erase the bottom layer. That you want to keep this content, keep showing things like that. So that's the use of that. And then you can continue writing in there, whatever the hyperbolic paraboloid two sheet looks like, something like that. So that's the use of these layers. I find that it's really useful, and especially when you raise, something like that. I'm going to give you another effect. I'm going to go ahead and draw. This is a second layer, a triangle, for example, and then you're going to explain something on that triangle. And then I just switch the top layer as I'm talking. So if you're talking about this angle and that angle, the relationship between these two angles, and realize, I want to erase it. So if you erase all this thing, you can see the triangle stays in there, didn't do anything. This is pretty neat, a way of, you explain things like that between, midpoint and going on all that, and decided to, you know, delete this part in there, things like all that part, but it doesn't delete the triangle. So it's pretty neat. I also prepared this green ones here, and you can go and find the green chalkboard, the actual looking one. Then you have this dirty board feeling, and it's quite fun. It's not something you need absolutely, but you know, it puts a little smile to everybody's face.